Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your September reading. I've laid out the cards on the horoscope wheel. I'll clarify with another tarot deck and finish off with one of two oracle cards. So I am going to get started, Pisces, with your overall energy for September is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is about a lot of options, a lot of opportunities before you. Many of these are projections of desires you have. They're not all exalted. They're not all beneficial. They're not even all good for you. Some of them may be dangerous, but you're feeling a sense of the desire, overwhelmed with all of the opportunities, confused perhaps by options that you're being given at this time. Mostly when this occurs to us, it can be distracting us from something that we more intentionally want to pursue. This can be you avoiding the pursuit of something that is obvious to you and being dazzled by all the opportunities that are popping up. Whatever it is, your imagination is working overtime. You are overwhelmed by all of the things you see that are out there to pursue, knowing full well that only one of them is something that is really worthy of your time and attention. In the first house, your concentration and focus has been and is on this ability to go within and find out the things that will help you to validate your own authority. This can be you seeking out teachers, seeking out advisors, those you respect and that you believe know you, get you, understand your purpose, why you're here. And this is in part this desire to make sense of things on your own terms. So to allow yourself the privacy, the retreat that you need to work things out. And as you do so, the lamp is here because you're intended to light the way for others. What you learn is intended to be shared, and that's what brings this full well. But you are letting go of an old way of being completely. You are allowing yourself to be transformed and to step into a new consciousness, a new motivation to move forward and pursue your dreams. In the fourth house, the house of your family, your foundation, your past even, the Six of Wands. This is about you being successful in some significant aspect of your domestic environment, your family environment. You may be working with members of your family or a team in order to accomplish some work, but your individual efforts have been recognized, have been validated, and that acknowledgement from your peers, your relatives, your team members is what is giving you the meaning that you need right now. You don't need to be the boss. You want to feel that you can be an equal team member, and that may be a change from the way that you have approached things in the past. Whatever its significance, you are feeling celebrated for your achievements and accomplishments. In the seventh house of your significant others, we have the Page of Swords. You're on a new quest for some new truth. And this is about particularly around your significant relationships. And when I say that, I mean with people, with groups of people, and with things like goals, your relationship to your work, your relationship to your customers, audiences, or clients is also a part of a relationship that is significant and important, and you look to be moving in a new direction. You look to be questioning your assumptions of the past. You may be looking with fresh eyes and have been inspired by something new, moving to new kinds of behaviors, new way of seeking the relevance of your experience to others in order to understand how best to serve your customers, clients, students, or relationships, others. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, we have the 5 of Pentacles. You are working through some powerful feelings that have been imposed on you in many ways by the social structures of our culture. If not your home life, then quite possibly your community life growing up, or even your community life now. You were assigned a role, and in that role, there have been certain limitations to the kinds of support you can receive, the kinds of validation you get for your ideas. But you're aware that there was a sense of not having enough, not being enough, or that other people get all the good rewards, and you somehow, for all your work and effort, all your willingness to work with others, have been not taken as seriously as you would like. This is something you're changing, and this also equates to our material conditioning, where we want things but don't believe we deserve them because we don't believe we've worked hard enough or we're smart enough. Whatever reason, the sense of inadequacy to the task is something you're working to change. It's something you've identified within yourself, and something you realize that you may have compensated with by a feeling of superiority or a feeling of being in control, in a way that you are now sincerely testing and trying to explode this construct that you've internalized. The Hermit card in the first house is clarified by the 5 of Wands. In the second house, and the Knight of Swords in the third house. Yeah, you're mediating or negotiating some conflict in your environment, and it feels like a conflict around values. So it can be that the values that were cultivated in you from your family of origin, or again your childhood experiences, is something that you are poking holes in, you are challenging, you are questioning, you're being curious about, and that can be causing a certain amount of discomfort. But you're realizing the things that you've wanted may not be the things that you really want or really need. And you're really looking at this conflict that may be occurring in your workplace or in your family life, among your friends even, where you are trying to bring the team together to work towards goals and solve a problem. You are the one who is able to detach yourself from your emotions about this. You're able to step back and see, if not mediate, actually bring in ways to mediate this so that everyone can get on the same page around not having the solution and agreeing to find the solution together. The 4 of Wands in the 4th house is clarified by the King of Cups in the 5th house and the World card in the 6th house. Your maturity level is moving forward. You are elevated in such a way that you have learned to take the hardships that you've overcome and recognize the strength in your ability to do so. Because of this story, because of this ability to recognize where you are strong and recognize where other people need support without having to ask for it. This is allowing you to be able to step back, and it invites people to share their deepest intimacies with you, and for you to be able to give support and help in a way that simply allows you to share your story. So there's a neutrality here, but this real compassion that you feel, this real ability to, particularly with your friendships, your friend group, This is a quality you share. And it is helping you to close out a cycle. This can be a cycle with friendships. This can be a cycle in your life around work. It looks like you're closing out a way of working with others that has run its course. You've gained all the skills and knowledge you can gain from a particular way or journey you've been on. You've achieved something, and it's now time to close that out, to move on in preparation for a new beginning. The Page of Swords in the 7th house is clarified by the 4 of Coins in the 8th house and the King of Coins in the 9th house. You're focused on your material stability, that is sure. You are building up your savings account. You may be laying the foundations of a business or an investment, a business relationship. You may be working as part of a team to ground something in reality, to bring something to concrete success. You definitely have the skills, or you are aligning yourself with someone who has mastered this process in the past. This might be a teacher or a mentor or a boss, but you are participating in a process that someone else has mastered, and you are only too happy to learn from what they've done. You are open to learning, you're open to new ideas, you're open to even shift your perspective in order to recognize the opportunity that you have here and roll up your sleeves and get to working. The 5 of Pentacles in the 10th house is clarified by the 2 of Wands in the 11th house and the 4 of Cups in the 12th house. So here we are where you are making a big decision. You are weighing out a couple of options that you have. You're looking towards this new practice that you have developed, this new alignment that you are experiencing where you're understanding what you want, that you're deserving of that, and you're no longer looking to others to supply that for you. It doesn't mean you're not accepting help or not asking for help. Instead, you are recognizing that you have an opportunity to choose between something you've done in the past. You know where the conclusion is. It may not even be a bad conclusion, but you know where that path leads, and another path, one in which you may be using the support you have now to create something of your own. The reason that you're able to manifest these opportunities in your life now is because you have practiced and gained this skill to move towards things that feel good to you. When that happens, we're not always accustomed to the way it feels to be successful, to have what we need, to not be in conflict, or to have received that, gain that on our own. That sense of satisfaction is tremendous, but also the things you're manifesting may not look like what you thought they were going to be. They may still be unfamiliar. They may not match you anymore. You may be a different person than when you put these out into the world. So your choices now depend on your present sense of wholeness rather than a desire to have someone save you or rescue you. This is an interesting reading, and I am going to experiment with an extension. So I will post that information, that link, if I'm successful. So, and thank you, Pisces, for letting me use you as a guinea pig here. My sun is progressed into Pisces, so I take this as a really beautiful and sacred opportunity to align. And I pulled humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. I love that. Until next time, Pisces, namaste.